Hello, and welcome to my part 2 of my NGS beginner guide. I felt like I should make this video to provide more context and answer commonly asked questions about the different mechanics and systems of the game, such as character info page, augment protections, enhancement boosters, or what battle power should I have currently, while covering more systems that I did not include in the last video. This video will follow in the same format as the last video, with chapters correlating to the topic, so again, please feel free to skip any parts you may already know. This will include the following: Player Shop, Meseta Farm, farming for quick food or other materials, explanation of character info, exchange shop, seasonal events, update to gearing, M.A.R.S, AC support augments, and future updates releasing in December. This shop can be accessed at the personal shop staff in any region. The best way to find this shop is to look out for the red stand.
Welcome!
The player shop can be very useful for either finding the items you want for various reasons ranging from cosmetics, weapons and units, or other items, and to sell items you have obtained to gain Meseta. You can see what items are able to be sold in the market by looking for the not tradable in personal shop tag on any item. For example, weapons such as the Eptive series or any equipment that has gone through an upgrade such as Crest to Zenith cannot be sold. Once you access the personal shop's menu, you will see the following: product search, shop search, top sellers, search friends shop, search alliance member shop, and run personal shop. The product search window has a lot of options available to search for certain items you want. The main ones I want to talk about in this video are the category settings, subcategories, enhancement level, preset skills, rarity settings, and augment/preset skill search settings. First is the category settings. This is used to search while using broad terms such as weapons, armor, skill rings, outfits/parts, and many more. This is not really useful to use on its own, but rather in conjunction with subcategories, rarity, or other search terms. Subcategories are meant to be used with the category settings to search for most certain items, such as the type of weapons you want, type of cosmetics you want, and more. Enhancement level is mainly used to search for enhancement fodder for weapons and armor. The max level is level 100. Preset skills can be used to search for fixer fodder on weapons or armors to either transfer or to enhance the item. If you want to search for a fixer fodder because you want to upgrade a preset skill level, search for preset skills no one really uses such as Performer, Infusia, or Natura for armor, and Unwix or Termina for weapons. Please note when looking for high level fixer for Terminus to use as fixer fodder, the price will drastically increase if it's on a gunblade. Rarity settings is usually used to search for the latest gear that has been released. If gear exists that share the same rarity level, they will show up on the same page. Augment/preset skill search is very useful as you can search for certain EX augment combos and searching for certain preset skills. This can save time on grinding for either of these items at a cost for some Meseta. EX augment combos have dropped in price because of low demand, so now is a great time to search for the combo or preset skill you want. There are a few ways to currently farm Meseta. This can be done through Dex Space Rank 1, Alter Realm Investigation, Lucille Exploration, and Nameless City when it's updated. The reason why I mentioned Dex Space Rank 1 is although it was released years ago, it is still a very viable way to farm Meseta. With the right group to farm with people using Waker or any good class for AoE mobbing, constant PSE burst and boosters activated, you can make around 2 million Meseta per hour. This is due to the large quantity of silver and gold prim swords that drop and are sold manually or through the auto sell feature. Before I want to go over other methods of farming Meseta, I also want to go over the basics of triggering a PSE burst. Going from 0 to 2 PSE bars is easy as you should just kill enemies you see, preferably in large groups. Going from 2 to 4 PSE bars is somewhat simple as you cannot go below 2 bars once it's obtained. Once you get to 4 PSE bars, you should complete a random trial that spawns. Make sure to not kill enemies that are marked with T as it may drop the PSE bar to 3. Enemies that are marked with the T symbol also have a chance of dropping the PSE bar to 3. although this is very unlikely. There are certain trials that give more than one PSE bar at a time. The Transworld Protection trial can reward 2 PSE bars during the trial, and the Chaos trial which can reward up to 3 PSE bars. You can activate a PSE burst from a Chaos trial if you're at 3 PSE bars, and you complete the last trial as active. You can also start to complete the Chaos trial at 2 PSE bars, as the first trial rewards you a PSE bar. The other ways of farming Meseta in the other zones I previously mentioned is based on RNG for the most part. If you were to obtain a highly valued piece of equipment in either content, such as skill rings or the 14-star rarity weapons set to release in mid-December, you can sell this on the player market to gain a lot of Meseta depending on demand, fix a preset skill, and level or the type of weapon itself. Usually with new released weapons for the first week or two, or even a month after release, it can sell for the high tens of millions and upwards to hundreds of millions, like we've seen for the release of Crest series, which I personally made around 90 million from selling a weapon in the first week of release. If you don't get so lucky on drops, this is totally fine, as most content recently have begun to release with materials correlating to a newly released augments like we are seeing with the Lois Halfinelli, Terra Trial, Argent Gigas Mastery, and in the future, Argent Gladiasul, in the next upgrade to Grand Dreadkeeper 2. These augments are still selling for a relatively high price, with the processing time of obtaining them not being so difficult at all. This section will be split into two parts, the Quick Food Material section and the Enhancement Material section. In the Quick Food section, I will not go over obtaining fruit, vegetables and seafood, as I have shown the images on where to obtain them in my previous video. Instead, I will show you how to efficiently farm meat. Where I usually farm meat is in West Cravaris, going in a circle around the mountain and killing every Thames you see. The reason why I farm in Cravaris is because the Thames can drop 2 meat variants that have different prefixes, which means I can use meat that I don't regularly use on the region mag for more rare drop rate. In 6 minutes of farming, I obtained around 160 crisp meat, which is my go-to for quick food buffs. I recommend using a class that can use techniques to use Zonde, an attack that can chain lightning between enemies from far distances to clear groups fast. You can choose either Bouncer, Force or Tech Turf to use these techniques. What I usually farm from enhancement materials is either Northrotam, the river west of Resolve Forest, Central Cravaris, Mediola Outer Area 2, and Vasula Ridge in Steer. In Medola Outer Area 2 in Steer, you will find complex materials scattered around the lava pools. The only way to destroy them is by using a meteor that can only spawn during an eruption. Another way of getting materials fast is through the Ark's Architectural Research Arch. This NPC can let you trade Genesis points for a lot of enhancement materials. This shop refreshes monthly, so you have a long window of time to farm Genesis points. Genesis points can be acquired from completing Lucille exploration, which gives you 1000 per run, or from the time extension quests, which can be found from the quest counter and going into other. This quest is very easy because it is very outdated, but is still a reliable way of farming Genesis points. A maximum of 50,000 can be obtained per week. The last method I want to talk about is the seasonal shop. This is a shop that appears during special events such as the NGS anniversary, Christmas, Easter, summer, and Halloween events. It often sells a lot of items that are needed for enhancements or even upgrades to gear, like we see with Prograde and Progressants being sold. Upon opening the character menu, you will see the following tabs: Stat information, class/EX style information, bolt-on art information, technique information, class/style skills information, add-on skills info, and look breakdown. I will focus mostly on the stat information page as it holds a lot of important information relating to various stats in the game, such as red drop rate, XP and Meseta gain, battle power, and much more. Starting from the top of the window, you can see basic information such as character name, alliance, title, and more. I will be covering the section below this, which include battle power, HP, PP, attack, defense, damage adjustment aka flow potency, damage resistance, weapon type potency, and ailment resistance. Most of these stats are self-explanatory, but I want to talk about the damage adjustment, weapon type potency, and ailment resistance. Damage adjustment, also known as flow potency amongst others, is a percentage stat that randomizes an attack's damage by a random number picked out between the minimum number and 100%. For example, my flow potency is at 91.7% and the max is 100, and my attack's damage outputs 10,000. There is a chance for that damage number to decrease or stay the same when a random number is picked from the 91.7% and 100%. Let's say 94.6% is chosen from the selection. My attack's damage will decrease to 9,460. When going for a build that prioritizes landing crits, such as Fatale builds or Slayer as the main class, flow potency isn't as important anymore, because critical hits are not affected by the flow potency. Rather, it is 100% flow potency damage times by the critical hit multiplier. When building for a high flow potency build which consists of Radi and largely depth augments, I'll go for either Fixer Wix, Attack, or Bandak if you meet full requirements. Please know that Slayer should not build for Fixer Attack or similar preset skills, as Fixer Termina is the best option for Slayer. Weapon type potency is a potency stat that correlates to a weapon's preferred type. For example, rifles for Ranger or twin machine guns for Gunner use a range potency. There are two classes in the game that have the skill Special Ability Optimization BO and BR for Bouncer and Braver. This means that if you have went for a melee focused build, the Bouncer skill will make the technique potency share the same potency as melee. This is the same for Braver but with range potency. You may notice that if you add up the potency from the weapon and the 3 units, it will not add up to the same number displayed on the stats window. This is because the potency stat is not additive, it's multiplicative. The more augments you have equipped that also provide a large amount of potency, the smallest increase or decrease to your potency will actually impact it a lot. The effects given by some EX augments, such as Evade Onslaughts, which give 3% potency extra at max, will not appear in the stats window. This is the same for skill rings and Bouncer and Braver skills, and add-on skills. Ailment resistance is a stat that is also multiplicative. Each of my units have a 5% resistance in each category, but displays as a total of 14.3%. The percentage you have for that category determines the likelihood that you'll be afflicted by that ailment. The augments used to increase a stat are commonly the Radi/Larzi ward augments, or the EX augments that have the R suffix. The exchange shop is useful as it can provide valuable items such as the 100% reg up rate booster, and augment protections, and SG. This can also be accessed through the shop section of the menu. The exchange shop that is found in the shop menu is limited on what the items it offers. To see more options, head to the item trader shop in any region. The main parts of the item trader shop menu I want to talk about are the N Weapons Badge Exchange, Orcs Record Badge Exchange, and Equipment Upgrade. The N Weapons Badge Exchange consists of augments that you can obtain, such as the Magus variants of augments to create better ones that have been released, such as the Los Halfanelli, or the others that will soon release, such as the Argent Gladiasul. To obtain these badges can be somewhat difficult as they are not always available. If you have formed the previous limited time quest called Relay Quests, you may have a few of these weapon badge Bs in your storage. Orcs Record Badge Exchange holds items such as SG, weapon camos, and enhancement materials, although I would stay away from exchanging for these materials as I mentioned far better ways of obtaining them in the video. To obtain these badges, you will need to complete a certain quest listed in the Orcs Record tab of the personal menu. Equipment Upgrade is a menu that holds all the past or newly released upgrades for the equipment in the game, currently ranging from 1 to 3. Equipment that can be upgraded here transfer all of augments, level, limit break, potential, preset skills and multi-weapons over, Please note that there is no way to go back on the upgrade you choose, so please be careful on what upgrade you go for, especially for units, as they can provide varying stats. Currently, the Super Genesis Festival 25 is underway. This is a great time to farm equipment or materials as a seasonal shop and other campaigns offer a lot. There are a few points I want to go over in this section. This will be the Seasonal Points Exchange, Super Genesis Festival Exchange Tickets, Super Treasure Scratch 12 and 13, and Super Genesis Festival Scratch. The Seasonal Point Exchange can offer a lot of valuable items such as enhancement materials, gear upgrade materials, cosmetics, augments, SG, scratch tickets, and Meseta. Some items here may be very expensive such as Lux Health Finale, and I would recommend avoiding buying these because they are very easy to obtain there. To farm seasonal points, quests such as Lucille Exploration and future limited time quests can provide these points, but the fastest way to farm them is through Dex Base Rank 1. If you do farm at Dex Base for these points, make sure you have a Super Genesis Festival Points Booster from the exchange shop. Super Genesis Festival Exchange Tickets can be obtained from the seasonal tasks. These can be completed by obtaining seasonal points. To gather all these tickets available, 5 million points are required to be obtained. These can be exchanged at Seat Tray for the 12 AT weapons. Super Treasure Scratch tickets can be obtained from daily tasks and urgent quests, or can be obtained per urgent quest run. During this time, all urgent quests can be run twice with all enemies' HP reduced by 30%. The Scratch Banner can provide materials, augments, and boosters such as the N.A.R.S cubes, NEX Rare Drop Rate boost of 50%, and Lux Health Finale, and many more. That is the wrong one. There we go. Super Genesis Festival tickets can be obtained from the Seasonal Points Exchange shop and by completing future limited time quests. To use these tickets, go to the Place Scratch Tickets tab of the shop menu and scroll to the bottom. These can provide cosmetics and weapon camos such as the Klaus Almaty and the Klaus unit accessories. With the update for Lucille Exploration and the seasonal event, it also came with the Ebtiv and Decem free equipment. For free gear, these are very powerful and I suggest staying on these pieces of equipment until you have made items that far surpass it, but this may be very expensive or time consuming for others. This update also released the Legend Free Rarity upgrade for 12 Legend Eos and Land weapons. These weapons may surpass the Zenith series, especially Land. Now may also be a great time to obtain and upgrade the Fortune armors, as the prices have dropped and soon the upgrade to the 14-star Belfast armors will become available with the Ruin Falls Luthor urgent quest. The seasonal event also came with the Item Lab Boost campaign, which boosts chances for preset skills of upgrading or augments sticking to equipment, with enhancement materials also being reduced. Now may be a great time to start upgrading your equipment. With the addition of Lowe's Health Finale, Terra Trial, and the Argent augments, the ceiling for potency and damage is now very high, but I think it's unnecessary unless you're doing super hard content. Most quests can be cleared efficiently with the new Decem free and Ebtiv free gear, although with slight adjustments, such as changing the EX augments or adding preset skills. The current recommended battle power for content is around 4656. I felt like it should be mentioned here instead of the previous video, but M.A.R.S is an equipment given to the player at some point in the story quest. It has 4 weapons available to use, which has its own use cases. These are Garm, Nidhogger, Hydra, and Skylar. I don't want to go too much into how M.A.R.S works, as by using it, it can provide less damage compared to using your weapon in combination with Photon Blasts and EX style Fallout Blasts, although it's very useful for survivability. In the future, M.A.R.S will receive buffs, and I will mention it as soon as Sega mentions when this will be. AC Support Augments, or augments that come from the AC Scratch AC Support Item Select. These powerful augments have a lot of variants which can range from Meltech, Melra, and Ratech augments. They also come with extra stats such as Deft, Star, Speed, and many more. Currently, the best AC augments to go for are the Radi and Larze class. Please note that the AC Support Scratch in January will release an augment that will surpass Larze, but this may also be a good thing as the Larze augments are now really cheap. In addition to the Super Genesis Festival, there are a lot of other pieces of content to release in this month, most notably the Ruin Falls Luther Limited Time Urgent Quest, which will also release the new 14-star weapons and will remain in the game until February. This will also include the Super Reward Box Luther for the first 3 weeks of release. On the same week of Ruin Falls Luther's release, there will be a limited time quest releasing which will also drop the 14-star weapons in addition to the new augment, Ardent Gladiasul. If you wish to look at upcoming updates, I will provide 2 links in the description. These will be for the updates releasing in December, and the other being a roadmap for 2025 and 2026. Thank you for watching all the way through the video. I don't think I'll make a part 3 or a 2026 guide for some time unless things within the game drastically change. Most things I've said can carry on in the future of the game, which include farming content for gear, leveling, Meseta farms, and so on. I will start making videos on what content will be released, hopefully on a weekly basis. I wanted to do this initially, but I also wanted to put all my focus into this beginner guide so I can help new players ease into the game. Thank you for supporting my channel, and hopefully I will continue to make content on a regular basis. Happy grinding, people.